guitar players, it's Slide O'Clock. Today I'm going to break down an iconic riff in open G along with 4 fill riffs that sound great and are easy to play. Now I do have a guitar tab available for this lesson. I'll put a link for that in the description. Be sure to go ahead and grab that so you can follow along. So we will be in open G tuning, so that's D, G, D, G, B, D. I'll put some more resources for that in the description as well. Let's get into it. So the stop time riff that we're going to use sounds like this. I'm sure you've heard this riff before. It's in a lot of different blues songs. Definitely goes back to the turn of the century. Let's take an up-close look at it. So before we play the riff, I just want to give you a couple quick slide tips. One is just keep a real light touch with the slide. Don't push too much into the string towards yourself. Just try to keep a real light touch. The second tip is you want to try to keep that slide lined up with the fret. So see there how that slide is lined up with the fret, and the fret is kind of chopping the slide in half, dividing the slide in half. Here's if it isn't lined up with the fret, and this is really important if you're playing more than one note, which is what we're about to do here. So we're going to hit the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. I'm going to hit that with my thumb. You could use a flat pick, just go in a downward direction for all these notes. And then we're going to go up to the 5th fret and slide into the same 3 strings. Then I'm going to hit the open strings again. Then I'm going to slide into the 3rd fret. Then I'm going to hit the open strings again. So here's the whole riff. Now the cool thing about this stop time blues riff is it has a couple beats of space in between each riff when you repeat it. And a lot of times that's where you put the vocals in there. But what we're going to do today is use that space to put some guitar fills in there. So this is cool because it allows you to basically back yourself up. You're playing the riff, which is like a bass part, and you're going to play a fill, which is like kind of like a lead guitar part. And you can just jam out with this and come up with your own riffs. There's a lot of possibilities. So we're going to start off in the tab with fill riff number 1. It's going to sound like this. Pretty cool, right? Let's take an up-close look at that. So we're going to go up to the 12th fret on the 1st and 2nd strings, and I'm going to hit both of those strings with my index finger here. Then I'm going to slide into the 12th fret 2nd string. Then I'm going to go to the 12th fret 3rd string, and I'm going to do a backward slide. Okay? The reason I do that backward slide is it helps get me back down here to then do... Now there's some cool subtleties in how much you slide, how far you slide, which notes you slide on, and which ones you don't. But that's more than we're going to get into right now. So that's one cool fill riff that you can do. Let's take a look at fill riff number 2 on the tab. That's going to sound like this. So this one we're going down a little bit in the lower range. We're going to start with the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. That's a blue note, so you can really slide into that and it sounds really cool. Then we're going to hit open, 3rd string, then 3rd fret, 4th string. Then I'm going to slide into 5th fret on the 4th string. And I'm going to give that a shake, a vibrato. So we're going to go back and forth real quick. Pretty cool, right? So that is riff number 2. Now let's take a look at fill riff number 3. Pretty cool. Let's take an up-close look at that one. So we're going up to the 12th fret 3rd string. And then I'm hitting open 3rd string, 3rd fret, slide into that, and then open 3rd string. All right. So let's get into fill riff number 4. Fill riff number 4 is going to sound like this. So this is a cool trick that I like, a mirroring technique I like to call it, because any riff you play on the 3rd string, you can also play on the 5th string, the exact same frets. So that's what I'm doing here is I'm taking riff number 3 and I'm just moving it to the 5th string. All right, cool. We made it through all 4 fill riffs. Now comes the fun part. I'm going to put it all together. So I'm going to do each riff 4 times, and I'm going to keep putting that stop time riff, of course, in between. And we'll just kind of play through it to really get a feel for all these riffs. And hopefully this will give you ideas on how you can, use this yourself. Come up with your own fill riffs. You just have to make sure that they fit in that space in between the stop time. So let's zoom in, and here we go. All right, and that's a good ending chord actually that I did there at the end, just the 3rd fret, 1st and 2nd strings just played with your fingers. That's a G7 chord. That's a good way to end a G blues. All right, so hopefully this is unlocking some things for you with playing slide and open G tuning. The basics really aren't too difficult. The subtleties can take a while to really get, all those subtle slides and vibratos and different effects that you can get. But I hope you found this useful. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you're able to come up with your own, fill riffs. If you found this as a way that you can jam with yourself. I think that's one of the most exciting things about this lesson. I'll see you next time.